And we're back. You are listening to Gadfly Radio. I'm Ben Boychuk, one-third of the Gadfly Radio Triumvirate, sitting in for Martha and John Seiler. They're both at a conference, so I am on my own today. And joining us from somewhere in the world is Cal Watchdog reporter extraordinaire John Raby. John has been tearing up the internet over the past several weeks with his investigative reports on the Cal State University system and the exorbitant pay that the administrators there are receiving in the midst of a unbelievable budget crisis. John, welcome.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for having me on the show.
Can I reveal where you are right now?
Oh, sure. I'm actually just enjoying a nice, quiet evening here in Cape Town, South Africa. So the beauty of the internet, you can report on the goings-ons of Cal State executives and their pay scandal from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and if they want to reach out and touch you, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So great. Well, thank you for taking the time. So look, tell us a little bit about this business. There was last week, the legislature, I guess it was a state Senate committee, attempted and failed to pass a bill that would have put a cap on administrative pay raises at the Cal State University system. So what is going on? I mean, there's a profound lack of transparency here, isn't there?
Yeah, there absolutely is. If you've paid attention and you hear Jerry Brown talk about the need for a tax increase, you'll immediately believe that the state has absolutely no money. But one area of the state bureaucracy that makes huge amounts of money are these presidents of these Cal State universities. And so if you look at what has been reported by the Cal State Chancellor's office, it's one set of numbers about salary and base pay that is substantially lower than the total amount of compensation that these presidents receive. So if you look at their base pay, it averages about $300,000 a year. That's about twice as much as the governor makes. I think it's almost triple what state legislators make.
Right.
But that's just the beginning of their total compensation. They also receive about $45,000 to $50,000 a year in retirement contributions. They receive $12,000 a year in a car allowance. They receive $50,000 to $60,000 a year in a housing allowance, plus all sorts of miscellaneous health benefits, dental benefits, vision benefits, Medicare taxes paid, old age retirement benefits,
right.
Life insurance, all sorts of other little things, and they all add up into huge, excessive compensation for these presidents.
Right, especially since, as I said in the introduction here, they're freezing enrollments or admissions. They're trying to reduce enrollments. They're raising tuition fees. Now, what Cal State is saying to you, right, is they're saying, well, look, these pay raises, you can't look at those pay raises in the context of this tuition hike and our other budget problems. You have to treat those separately. Isn't that basically what they're telling you, that these 10% raises are peanuts in the context of the overall problem? I mean, there's some truth to that, but seriously, in the midst of this crisis.
Yeah, that's one of their arguments, but they're more bold than that. I mean, they come out and basically say these presidents are worth every penny and we should be paying them more. There was one Cal State trustee at the recent board meeting who came out and after approving a 10% raise for two new university presidents at East Bay and Cal State Fullerton, one trustee came out and said, "I just wish we could pay them more." Now, that's just baffling to me, as we are seeing all across state government reductions in pay and benefits, furlough days for faculty members, increases in tuition, and they want to pay even more to these Cal State presidents.
Right. Well, it is baffling. I mean, you could say in good times, look, if we were flush, then yeah, maybe, and if they were raising money, maybe you pay them a little bit more. But in the midst of widespread cuts, and when you're asking parents and students to pay, thousands of dollars more in tuition every year, and you're asking faculty to, they're freezing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're freezing salaries on faculty members. It sort of boggles the mind. There's a disconnect there. It's a profound disconnect that we're seeing there, right?
Right, absolutely. And the other thing that's really intriguing here is we're seeing, or we should be seeing, a decrease in the overall cost of higher education. There's a few outlets up in Northern California and in the Silicon Valley that are putting a lot of courses online for free. And we're seeing, because of technology, the ability to bring down high overhead. And so it doesn't make any sense that on the one hand, we're seeing the internet transform and lower our costs in so many different areas, but not in higher education. And so I think part of it, too, is this credential inflation by these university presidents.
Right.
And so the only qualification that they deem necessary is if you have a PhD, if you have some sort of advanced degree, where that means somebody like Jerry Brown, who I disagree with on a lot of issues, and I don't think his tax policy is good for California, but certainly the governor of the state is qualified to be a university president. And yet, if you look at how they determine who's qualified, Governor Jerry Brown wouldn't be a qualified candidate to serve as a Cal State president. I mean, that's how they've created their own little market that has inflated. That's really what they've done, is they've created this artificial market for a university president. Take another example. John Perez, as Speaker of the State Assembly, he sits on as an ex officio member of the Cal State Board of Trustees. He's obviously well-versed in how to budget and raise money, raising millions of dollars for Democrats
Sure.
and millions of dollars for tax increase measures. So he's got all the qualifications, but years ago he dropped out of school and never finished his bachelor's degree. Now, if you look at it, has that impeded him in any way? Absolutely not. And would he be qualified to, by looking at his record, run a state university? Absolutely. And yet, again, here's another example of a statewide leader who, under this artificial market, wouldn't be qualified to be a Cal State president.
Right. So you've been writing on this at great length at calwatchdog.com. The latest story that's up, it was up yesterday, is Cal State presidents receive perks and benefits worth 50% of base pay, which we're talking about. So we're going to be running up against a break pretty soon, but I just wanted to ask, Leland Yee, the State Senator Leland Yee, had this bill, SB 967, that failed in committee. This was the bill that was going to cap these pay hikes. I'm under the impression that bill could come back. Is that true?
Yeah, it can, and it could come back later on in the session. And if you look at comments from Darrell Steinberg, the leader of the Democrats in the state Senate, he has given some indication that he wants to toughen up a weaker measure that they passed as an alternative to Leland Yee's bill. So you could see the potential for it, but it largely comes down to whether or not parents and students, faculty members put the pressure on the state legislature and really encourage them to pass State Senator Leland Yee's excellent good government measure. Okay.
Well, when we come back, John, I want to talk about the shenanigans at San Jose State University with the foundation there being a little bit less than forthright with their tax documents. You're listening to Gadfly Radio. I'm Ben Boychuk. We will be right back.